Well, as the National Assembly holds public hearing on the proposed constitutional amendment, one of the numerous recommendations made during the just concluded public hearings by the House of Representatives is a call for a policy that grants full native rights to Nigerians who have resided in a state for more than 10 years or were born there. Well, Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State was speaking on the issue at the Southeast Center B public hearing held at the Eze Imo Palace Auditorium in Owerri. Says the proposal is a step towards strengthening the unity in our diversity, adding that the Constitution must reflect shared values and aspirations, not create loopholes. Well, according to him, this will bring back the vital democratic tradition practiced in our early republics, whereby any Nigerian born in a state or who has lived there for more than 10 years is granted native status. Well, I have Dr. Sam Amadi, Director, Abuja School of Social and Political Thought. He joins us on Arise on Newsnight tonight to look at this issue. Glad to have you join us, Dr. Amadi. Like you had Dr.
Dr. Hope.
Well, I don't know if he's a doctor. Well, Governor Hope Uzodinma saying this was earlier practiced way back in this republic. Is that true?
Well, I think what Governor Hope meant, or what he should mean to say, is that we didn't have this so-called discrimination in the earlier republic. We knew that many of our people who were teachers in the northern Nigeria or northerners, I mean, there was a mayor of Enugu mayor, first mayor was a northerner, and vice versa. So you see some Yorubas who are either mayor or something in the southwest, southeast. South. So basically, we had our differences culturally, but we had no strategic and systematic sense in which people are perceived in that sense. But I think historically there was a lot of discrimination, and that's why in 1958, the Willis Commission looked at the issue of minorities in Nigeria, concerned about minorities in the south and the north, that they are going to be victims of power play during independence, and they recommended, one of the things they recommended was the insertion of a Bill of Rights. Nigeria became the first country in Commonwealth Africa to have what they call Bill of Rights, which is fundamental human rights. Patterned after the European Convention that came in around 1948. So we became the first. And that featured in our 1960 Constitution. Now, this is the key point here. I think Nigerian constitutional practice has a lot of incoherence and confusion. By virtue of our Constitution, there's nothing like residence as conferring any rights. People are residents. I mean, if you're here, you're a resident, you're paying tax here, okay? So residency is where you live. So if you ask where do you live, it says FCT. Your tax FCT. So you have some legal connection to FCT. Duties, if they impose under COVID, they impose restriction on FCT, and they don't have in Lagos, you will be inconvenienced here. But Section 42 of our Constitution, and I think that's the Nigerian problem, we don't take seriously our constitutional stipulation. Section 42 is very, very clear that, and I want to read some bit of it that helps us. It's very clear in the sense that it doesn't think around, it doesn't assume or even imagine.
Let me just give you a line there.
Yeah,
it says there's no specific mention of residency duration within a state in relation to recognition.
Absolutely. I'm saying that's nothing. Residence has no power or impact to discriminate against citizens. The Nigerian Constitution says no discrimination, and the language it says no administrative, legal discrimination. So look at this way. If a Nigerian citizen, you are now in FCT, you live here and go to Owerri, you and so-called native in Owerri have equal right, absolutely. The concept of some rights, civic rights, following from residence, native, okay, that your parents were ethnic or were originally from Imo State, for example, has no constitutional sanction. At a cultural level, private domain, you can do your Indigene Bise, do your Oro in Lagos.
In Lagos.
You might not be able to allow to wear the Oro. You may not be able to carry off from Bise or for Oro. Those are domain outside public policy. The moment, for example, I'll give you an example, it's unconstitutional in Nigeria for any Nigerian citizen to pay more school fees than anybody who's a Nigerian in the state where he resides. So, for example, assuming Imo State says we're going to give school fees will be for those born in Imo, 5,000. Those whose parents are Imo, those who are not, Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, Nupe, whatever. But that's unconstitutional because that text 42 says nobody can give extra benefits or extra loss, liability to any person on the basis of ethnicity, any other classification. There is aggressive and radical citizenship. Now, this is the problem. We are not going to see people go to court to challenge constitutional rights. I used to...
because what you're saying, I agree with you. It says, Section 42 of the Nigerian Constitution primarily deals with freedom from discrimination.
I read the text.
It focuses,
Yes.
on ensuring that all citizens are treated equally, regardless of their origin, sex, religion, or political opinion.
In fact, in the text, it says even administrative measures cannot discriminate against citizens. So, Hope Uzodinma's view is patriotic to say, oh, we should be able to. But I'm saying that the Constitution we are slower than the Constitution. The Constitution has made it clear that we shouldn't be talking about residence rights.
Oh, we shouldn't be talking about it.
We shouldn't be talking about native and so-called foreigners. It doesn't exist. Every Nigerian state, administratively, legally...
Why are we then talking about it?
Because we don't understand our Constitution. That's what I'm saying.
Who doesn't understand our
Constitution? See, everything the Constitution... If we understand the Constitution, why should, for example...
The National Assembly does not understand our Constitution.
Unfortunately...
Because are the people vested with responsibility to make laws.
I challenge everybody to go back and read Section 42 today and tell me how any state governor can treat any Nigerian citizen in their state a shade lower than other citizens. Totally unconstitutional. In fact, even our judges ourselves, and this is the point, this constitution came out of a challenge, a problem. Should we be one Nigeria or should we be multiple nationalities? And Willike says the best answer to this problem is to create something that trumps over culture and everything, which is citizenship. And that's why at the last summit, I argued, I was a speaker. I said,
the Patriot Summit?
I said, we have to go back to democratic citizenship. That simply means that the government doesn't see you as Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa. It sees you as a Nigerian citizen.
Wherever you are.
And you carry the same bundle of rights. Culturally, I may decide not to marry you. It's a private domain. The state doesn't. We may arrange our custom, our culture, do some dance that's native to us. No problem. But once it comes to administrative, legal, legislative measures and schemes, they are thoroughly unconstitutional.
And what you're saying will then include voting and election
everything.
And being elected.
Everything. If you register...
So why do you have some of our leaders who are even senators talking about go back to your state? You're not from this state.
Pure idiocy. Pure idiocy. And institutionalized idiocy. You see, if you're... No, look at it this way. If you reside in a place, like I said, there are certain duties and responsibility of residence. It does not make you a citizen. A Nigerian citizen is a Nigerian citizen at large. But you are a resident of FCT. I pay tax here. There are encumbrances. For example, the ground rate here could be 50,000. There could be zero in Lagos. I may decide to migrate to Lagos. Tax regime might be different. That's state-based, residential privilege. But if I'm here and you said, you know what, I'm not Gwagwagi, for example, therefore, I will have to be discriminated against a matter of rights. Unconstitutional. I will be treated as a Gbagi person.
So it's justiciable.
Huh?
It's justiciable if they do that.
It's not even chapter 2. Chapter 4, look at the problem. People talk about rights without understanding the constitutional framework. You see, the point I'm making that citizenship is when you have one single citizenship in a country, just like an American, for example, you cannot discriminate on basis of nativity. For example, if you are a state, if you are in a state in California, I think what Hope was saying is, states can say that if you stay up to this time in our state, then you can vote here. For example, voting rights in the US.
And be voted for.
Yes, you can vote. You can register to be, if you want to run an election in DC, for example, or let's say Texas, and you've not stayed up to 3, 4, 5 years, for example,
Okay.
you might not be qualified.
Okay.
Those are resident rights. They're not discriminating to you on the basis of ethnicity. It has equal treatment. All American citizens, if you want to stand election in California, you have to be 8 years.
So this whole talk is about...
So what Hope is talking about, and it makes sense, is that there should be law that says if a person stays in a particular state in Nigeria for X years, then that person is now, for all purposes, a citizen of that state for the purpose not of negating the general citizenship right all have as Nigerians, but for the purpose of attaining some specific state rights. So this is the point Hope is making, and that's correct. That it cannot be on basis of your Yoruba, Igbo, Fulani. It's on the basis
of the policy.
Of a policy that applies to all generally. Stay 10 years, you pay tax. So in that case, Tinubu, who came from Osun, stayed too long, has qualified. Hope Uzodinma, who came from Imo, stayed 10 years, have qualified. That's the point.
Okay, so
yeah.
The essence of this talk is to set agenda, find solutions.
Absolutely.
He said that, all right. From what you're saying, the lawmakers, I find it hard, they don't seem to understand. So how do we correct
this error?
This error, anomaly, yes.
And that's part of what I told them at that summit. I said the problem with Nigerian incoherence, Nigerian leaders are not sure whether they want to be one people. And that's why Nigeria has faltered and will continue to founder. You have to agree that you want to be one nation, defined, and Baba Ahmed, the senior, made the same point, defined by the fact that we are citizens. Then at the lower level, our different cultural level, you see the problem that we want to create cultural exceptionalism. That means our culture to trump our citizenship, our religion to trump our citizenship. So the first problem is, do we really want to be Nigerian citizens? If we agree, then we have to follow what Willis 1960 Constitution, 1979 up 1999, which says all Nigerians should be treated equally. Second, we can go to a second level and say, okay, can we now make laws that explicitly makes explicit what is implicit? So we make those laws says, okay, this, in order to make idiot card, those who don't read, who don't understand,
to make
spell
explicit what is already
implicit in the Constitution. So that's what we do, and it doesn't require constitutional change. You need to now use the Constitution to explicate what this means in other points. Just like the issue of federal character. It's there, but the Federal Character Commission has not developed templates, processes to ascertain what does it mean to meet the federal requirement in CBN. So we're a country of insufficient laws. We need to go to court, we need to challenge these things and create this constitutional norm. And that's why somebody like me have started to go back to court, start strategic litigation, because it looks like after Ghana, the people are no longer using the law to recreate the space of policy and politics and help to create a functional state. Because people are just breaking the law. Look at the governor of Edo saying, oh, well, how did he get the power to even prescribe movement, to even control? So this is the problem with, constitutional
what, I was, on a lighter note,
yeah.
I was going to say, I think you should go and contest and go to National Assembly, so you can help us correct this.
Maybe I should start with going to court to push
okay, the court.
Yeah,
okay, we'll start there.
Yeah,
Dr. Amadi, Director, Abuja School of Social and Political Thought. Thank you for letting us speak your brain.